Amy, and today we are making homemade barbecue sauce and we're gonna can it. I'm so excited. I've had tomatoes going all night and we're gonna go ahead and get those all processed through the food mill and start working on that barbecue sauce so we can it later today. Okay, I've never done anything like this, so you're gonna learn with me. But I had my tomatoes going all night. So I think what I need to do is now blend these up, I think, yeah, I think I need to blend them up and then run them through the food mill. So what I'm gonna do is get my immersion blender out and we're gonna blend in here. And then the food mill, which I've never used before, is this sort of device, gadget. We're gonna then measure out the amount of tomatoes we have so we can start making the barbecue sauce. So this is like step very much one, which is to just cook the tomatoes and get to that puree that we need for our barbecue sauce. Okay, we have our immersion blender. I'm gonna just go in and start blending it. And keep in mind, we have the skins and the seeds still on because the food mill will get rid of those. Kind of looks like tomato soup. Okay, I think we're good. So that is all blended up. It smells so good. Look at the steam. So now we're gonna run it through the food mill. That is my understanding. This is very much a working kitchen. So I just bought a food mill, first time ever. And it looks like it just kind of goes over your pot. And we're gonna try this out. So I'm ladling over. That is not right. That's not what you do. Never mind. Okay, that's not correct. I was looking at this and I'm like, how does that even work? We need to get the actual like mill in. Okay, we insert the post into the hole. Insert the post into the hole. Okay. Press bar down and position slot. Okay, I think I got it. Press the bar down, lock it, place it over a bowl, turn the knob clockwise. Okay, I think we figured it out. Because there was like a hole there and I was like, the seeds are just gonna fall right through there. So this seems to make more sense. So we're essentially trying to get the juice out. And to get the seeds and the skins removed. This is nice. It fits really nicely on my Le Creuset. Okay, we're gonna just fill this up. This smells so good. It smells like summer in April. Okay, so I think what we do is we just kind of go like that. And on the bottom is all the juice coming out. Clockwise. Oops, that way. Okay, that's looking good. This looks great. I wonder what we can do with the pulp. I'll have to find something because I don't want to waste it. Maybe we do make that into soup. Okay, I'm gonna keep going at this and I will check back in with you in just a moment. Okay, another learning situation. So the food mill comes with like multiple sort of situations. I have the finest one on and I'm like, this just looks like tomato juice. And that's because it is. So it says for sauces, I need to actually use this one. So I have this full, I'm just gonna dump that back in because it will make it go through. And who cares if the sauce is in the bottom, it's fine. We'll figure it out, but lots of learning here going on. I'm only being honest with you guys because I don't want you to be discouraged. I think most people would hide this part of how complicated this is. Okay, I'm covered in tomatoes. We're gonna clean up. Okay, so now we have the coarse one on, which is indicated for sauces. And that seems so much better already. Just gonna go ahead, let's give this a try. There we go. That seems better already. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna keep going with this. Okay, so I am making the Bull Canning 2-in-1 barbecue sauce, but I'm only gonna do one of the recipes, which is a sweet and sour sauce. You could also make the Stampede style, it says. I just don't really wanna make that one. So I'll double the recipe for that. But this first base, which is what we're making, requires 16 cups of seeded, peeled, pureed tomatoes. That's what we just did with the food mill. So I'm gonna measure that up now so we know how many of the onions and the peppers we need, because those ratios need to be exact for a water bath canning safe method. So 16 cups. So this is a 2-cupper. Okay, 2 cups. I had to go back and watch because I did not know where I was at. So we're at 12, 16. So there's 1 recipe now. So we're gonna start again. And I'm gonna stop at 16, even if there's a little extra, and I'll just make like soup with it, because then I just know it's double the recipe. So we know that the recipe will be double for this. So I have some of this pulp and not a lot left. There's probably maybe like 2 cups in there, so I'll just make a soup with this. Okay, so our tomatoes are nice and bubbly and boiling, and that's exactly the way we want it. It's reducing down beautifully. The next step for us is to add in our onions and our peppers and our spices, and that will be the base of our barbecue sauce. After that, we'll start adding in the sweet and sour portion of it. So the next part is for us to puree 4 cups of onions. So I have my food processor out. I think that'll be the easiest way. And we're just gonna kind of guess what 4 cups, I mean, we'll measure, but like cutting wise, I don't know. So we're gonna start, this is 1 large onion. We're gonna go ahead and puree this. It's like liquid onions. Okay, so I think this is probably gonna be about 2 cups. So we might need to do 2 big onions. It's not quite 2 cups, so we're gonna go ahead and keep adding. So I've chopped up 2 more onions for us to puree. It's like an onion soup every time. They're so liquidy. They smell so good though. Okay, so let's try to get this up to the 2 cups. Okay, that's 2 cups now. We got 2 cups and we need 4 cups total. So we're gonna go ahead and measure out this to see where we're at. It's like perfect. Just a little left over. Okay, 4 cups. Okay, not too bad. Just a little left over. I'll put that in. I'll put that with the sauce. Okay, so we were gonna go ahead now and clean up and put in our puree for the red peppers. We need 4.5 cups of red peppers. Now it called for green peppers. I couldn't find green peppers at a good price. Red peppers were less than $1 a piece, so we are going for red peppers. I have 6 red peppers, so I'm hopeful that that will be enough for 4.5. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a puree for the red peppers. That really turned into like a soup over here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pour that out to get 4.5 cups is what we're looking for. There's 2 cups. Okay, let's see if this gets us there, if I need to cut up some more. Okay. So this gets us to our next 2 cups, so 4 cups, but we'll need 1/2 cup to complete the recipe. So we'll go ahead and cut up another pepper. I still have 2, thank goodness. So it smells like summer. I can see why this is something people would do in the summer, is make like a nice large batch of barbecue sauce. I think one thing that I don't mind is actually doing this in the winter. I think for a lesson for me is I would just buy the peppers in Michigan when they're like super discounted and you get like 10 green peppers for like $1. And then just put them in the freezer. And so when they're ready for this, I can just dump them in. And same with the onions. So you can really, you don't have to do this all big canning projects all at once. You can do these throughout the season. But this is my first time. I'm realizing this now. I'm learning and I'm excited. You have to be ready to like make a mess in your kitchen. You have to be okay with that, with canning, I've noticed. Like, I don't love to make messes in my kitchen, so it definitely is an adjustment for me, but oh, that was perfect. Literally a half cup. Okay, so we have our base. Now these ratios are needed for a water bath canning process because of the pH in the tomato product. So that will help. This is a half cup. Go ahead and dump that in. We'll give this a stir. And we are wanting this to reduce down. So this at this point is going to reduce nicely. That's why I have the lid off. Hoping to release some of that moisture into the air. This is way better than doing it over a stove. This is my parents' roasting pan, and it's been really nice. It's already reduced down. You can really see it. But we need to reduce down a little bit more. So before we're done with this portion, we're gonna go ahead and add in the seasonings for the base. And then after that, I'm gonna do a little cleanup because the kitchen's driving me nuts. So for the first seasoning, it calls for 6 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. Dump that in. Ready to go. Next up, it calls for celery seeds, 2 tablespoons. I got this at a spice store. It's really nice. They have a bulk there. Smells good. It calls for 2 chilies. I don't have that, so I'm hoping a tablespoon of red pepper flakes will work. So next it calls for mustard seeds crushed. I don't have like a grinder, so I'm just gonna use a mallet and hope that they crush. So wish me luck. It's not working. So I'm trying to think what else I could crush this with. Maybe my Vitamix. We'll give it a try. It worked great. They're crushed. Dump that in. This is smelling like barbecue sauce. It's smelling really good actually. It's reducing down. I think it still has a long way to go though. This does not look like barbecue sauce yet to me. So we're just gonna let it keep cooking. So that's the base. Let's go ahead and read what I need to add for the sweet and sour sort of sauce. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep adding. So it called for ginger root. I don't have that. I'm hoping ground ginger will be okay. It did call for 4 tablespoons of ground ginger, or of ginger root. Okay. That should be good. Next, it calls for an astronomical amount of honey. 3/4 of a cup times 4. I feel like I don't have to add all of that. That's a lot of honey. I don't think I want to add the honey right now anyway because it's reducing, but I figured I could add in the seasonings. I do need to go get more pineapple because it calls for more pineapple than I have. And if this is supposed to be like pineapple salsa, barbecue sauce, we're gonna need more. So I'm just gonna have this keep reducing down. Okay, so I've had the tomatoes cooking down with all of the seasonings, the peppers, the onions, and it is about 5:30 here. I definitely should have left the tomatoes getting that water out, thickening up while I was gone at the market, and I didn't, and it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is pivot and going to actually slow this down, have it cook overnight with the pineapples and the honey, and I will can tomorrow. So instead of getting it all done today, because it's just not quite the consistency of barbecue sauce, I'm gonna switch it up and finish the project tomorrow. It is what it is. I'm learning. This is my first time ever doing this, so I have to give myself some grace, but that's the plan. So let's take a look to see what's actually happening with the tomatoes. So you can see here, the tomatoes have completely thickened up. I mean, this is so thick, like, right? That's awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slow this down and I'm gonna start adding in my other ingredients, starting with the honey. And for the honey, I needed 3/4 of a cup times 4. Now, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and add in 2 cups. I think that will be enough. There's 1. Okay, and then we'll do 1 more. And there's our 2nd cup. We can always add more if needed, but I'd rather try to keep it somewhat manageable. So there is our delicious honey. Don't want to waste any of that, so get that all out there. Next up, we need 3/4 of a cup times 4 of the apple cider vinegar. So that is 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. We'll see how much we have. My husband's at the store in case we need more. There's 1, 2. We had just enough. 3. Okay, so that's nicely in there now. Smells really good. And the last ingredient is our pineapple. And that, I believe, I have to double check the recipe. It's quite a bit. So it is going to be, I think, 8 cups of pineapple. Okay, so it is 8 cups of pineapple juice. Now my husband's at the store getting more, but let's go ahead and see what we can get in already. And that includes with the juice. So I have my immersion blender. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it versus crushing it. Let that in. 1 and 2. We'll go ahead and blend this up. Smells really good already. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a try. I know we're waiting on 6 more cups of pineapple juice, but let's give it a try. Oh wow, that's really good. There's some heat to it. You can really taste those red pepper flakes. So I do think those 6 other pineapple chunks will be really nice, and slow cooking this overnight will be probably perfect. Okay, it's the next morning. Looks nice and dark and thick. We are ready to get this canned up. Next we're gonna fill up our jars. Make sure these are sterilized. We just look, make sure they look good. There's no cracks or anything. They look good to me. I have my water bath canning going. I have the electric Presto one. Very great one. We're gonna fill this up. I'm just gonna go in the water bath canning for 20 minutes. And we're gonna keep going like that. So I'm gonna put on a lid and we're good to go. Okay, they are ready to be placed in the canner. We got our 6. I think it holds 7, so we'll have to probably do one more. Let's get these in the canner. It says fill jars. We're gonna go ahead and get those in here. Yeah, it looks like it holds 7. I always forget. It's 6 or 7, so we'll get one more filled up. And number 7. So at this point, we need to get some more water in here. They need to have covered 1 inch. This probably needs about 3 of those. And that should do it. Let's go ahead and get our lid on. It is now going to heat up for 20 minutes. We'll see this in 20 minutes. Okay, second batch is done. On my first batch, I had one that did not seal, so I might need to run this again. I have a ton of barbecue sauce too that I cannot get into a jar because I don't have any more clean jars. So that's a bummer. I need to like just put it in my fridge and we'll have it this week or whatever, but it's really unfortunate. And it's Easter today, so I highly doubt any stores would be open to go buy more jars. You can hear them popping. Oop, lots of popping going on. I was gonna see if any of the jars did not go in this one, and then I would run it with another one. But so far they all appear to have been sealed. I had this issue with my, when I did broth as well. I think I had one that did not seal. Lots of pop-ins. I'll pop. So I'm just gonna do a new one with just one because I have the jar. I'd like to use it. And I do have another lid. So we're gonna give this a try. So run this one more time. So it's Sunday now and we have finished our canning project. I did it this morning. It's Easter today. We went ahead and made 14 different barbecue sauces for canning. Now, I did not plan accordingly. I thought I read the recipe that I would have enough jars. I did not. So you can see here that I also froze a big amount of barbecue sauce that we'll just can either at a later time or I'll use for a larger barbecue meal. And I also had enough barbecue sauce to get my barbecue chicken marinating for this week already. Now I did have one that did not seal. So I'm just gonna store this in my fridge as well. Now you probably remember if you watched my other videos that I had one from the beef broth that did not seal. I'm wondering if that's the same jar. So I'm gonna go ahead and just not use that jar in the future. But that's what we have. That was the situation today. Really excited, not bad. 14 jars of barbecue sauce. This is probably like a year's worth of barbecue sauce. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to be quite honest. But there you have it. Thanks for joining me in the Mitten Kitchen. I'm Amy and I hope to see you next week for another video of us in the kitchen or the grocery store or around the garden. That's coming up soon. I'm really looking forward to that. Weather it was beautiful today. I think I got some sun even. But thanks again for joining me in the Mitten Kitchen. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.